Episode 21, From Japan with Love, continues this streak of purely Lupin episodes. None of that silly Dream of Italy Da Vinci clone shit, and good on it, because it's a pretty damn good episode. Shit like this just really makes me kind of frustrated with this series as a whole, as there's been no real confirmation of any more episodes being produced past this first 24 episode season, which would be a real shame, especially when you consider a good chunk of them got wasted on ridiculous subplots. Oh well, take what we got, I say, and this episode gives us quite a bit. It follows Lupin suddenly getting a call from a mysterious voice telling him that he must steal a famous Japanese doll and deliver it to a drop-off point, or else Fujiko gets her fucking brains blown out or something equally violent and awful like that. Of course, Lupin, disguised as Zenigata, easily makes off with the doll, only to find out that the whole thing was set up by Fujiko and Goemon, who, while bumping into each other while both staying in Japan, got wasted and made a bet on whether or not Lupin would actually steal the doll and save Fujiko. But wait, it turns out that it wasn't Goemon at all, and this was all a double setup. Goemon turns out to be the detective Akichi Holmes Kosuke, or some kind of butchered Japanese/English middle name like that. First of all, Akichi is a fucking fun, bad, or rather good guy. He's got these two sidekicks that worship him and he's comically full of himself. It's great. Akichi's plan actually works and Lupin finds himself arrested. Now it's all up to Fujiko to save him. I'd say the one big complaint I have about this episode is that it sort of sets it up as kind of a Fujiko proves she doesn't need Lupin kind of story, and yet we see practically no instance of Fujiko ever really being helpless. There's nothing she has to really overcome or prove or anything. It's not bad, I'm not saying she has to or anything like that, it's just that the first act of the episode would have you believe this is going to be an episode about Fujiko overcoming some kind of weakness or something, and it really isn't. It gets some great shots of Japan though. They really play with the environment they gave themselves. Maybe not as much as they could, but we get lots of big, fast scenes showing off a lot of the colors and shapes of the Japanese nightlife, and it lends itself well to what a beautiful fucking series Lupin Blue Jacket is. Anyways, with Lupin on ice, Fujiko concocts another double cross in order to break Lupin out. First by posing as a captured Zenigata in order to get the arrogant, insane Akichi to essentially break Lupin out. After that, Akichi goes full insano and starts shooting a cannon at the armored police tank Lupin and Fujiko are making their getaway in. It's the perfect amount of energy, action, and over-the-top craziness that excellently showcases Lupin III's best traits. It could have been a little stronger with Fujiko proving to everyone she could bust Lupin out, but like I said, not only does it not do much with that plot thread, but we, as an audience, already know Fujiko has the skills to break Lupin out. She doesn't really need to prove much to us. Oh well, it's a fast-paced, crazy episode that keeps you easily entertained the entire way through. It's kind of like a stark contrast to episode 20, which was a lot slower, softer, and more moody and emotional, as opposed to the openly insane plot and characters in this one, and that's just great. More proof Lupin III can practically do anything it wants, and you never feel alienated by it. Unless, of course, it's doing, shitty subplot stuff that is boring and badly written. I give this one 4 out of 5 Lupins. Remember to like, subscribe, and check out the description for a link to this episode and more. Until next time.